I'm recreating Heston's perfect Christmas, just not quite as perfectly. This is In Search of Imperfection. I want to do the hot and cold mulled wine.
Half of it is hot, and half of it is cold.
And if you like cold,
very difficult to get across on camera, of course. We do have good recipes and analogues for these. For one thing, hot and cold iced tea is featured in the Fat Duck cookbook. A very detailed process and something that was clearly sweated over for a long time to get it just so.
a very long time to develop that to the level that we thought it was good enough to serve.
Helpfully, we also have one of the development chefs who was instrumental in making it, Chris Young, over on YouTube, who very much demonstrates the technique using coffee and involving the great James Hoffman. His technique is actually simplified from the one in the book, so with respect, I'm going to use that one because I don't need any more challenges today. And this is one of those where I really don't have anything to go on as a home cook who hasn't tried anything like this before. I need to essentially make two very similar, I'm going to use the word liquids. Chris Young would prefer we'd say fluid gel, but let's just say liquids for argument's sake. Essentially you're making a very dilute gel that will sort of hold its shape, and apparently if you don't drink it quick enough, the magic is lost. I'm going to be using a product called Gellan Gum, Gellan F it's also known as, which is a food safe setting agent that will set the mulled wine that I've already bought ready-made. Given this time of year, very easy to pick up. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how this will go, but essentially I need to prepare two solutions and then bring them together at the end in the final glass. Got two slightly different quantities of Gellan F that I need. I'm just going to measure that out. I've opened that, it's actually in another bag, okay. Quite easily available online. So I need just 0.35 of a gram, which is such a tiny amount, to go with 400 millilitres of mulled wine. And that needs to be whisked in over heat. And to keep it consistent, I'm going to use one of those silly little cappuccino milk frothers. And then repeat, but with 0.5 Gellan into 400 grams mulled wine for my cold solution. So I've got my hot and cold solutions that I now need to completely chill down and refrigerate, essentially for 24 hours. Well, my two mulled wine preparations have sat overnight in the fridge for 24 hours. I'm now going to decant the hot one into a bag, or I can warm it up sous vide. Don't know if you can see, it's kind of hard to get on camera, but it is liquid, but it's quite jelly-like. According to Chris Young, we need to heat this at 72 degrees C. And there's my bag of cheeky Ribena. Let's heat this through now. And so to complete the hot and cold mulled wine, the cup that I'm going to use needs to be separated, and I've created here a very solid 1% Gellan solution of water, and I'm going to use that to build a template. This idea taken directly from Chris Young's video. Now the divider is in there because apparently if you taste the difference between the hot and cold too quickly, the illusion's gone. And obviously if I just pour one liquid next to another, they're just going to mix. Same as diluting a hot drink with cold water, right? So you keep that divider in to the last second to preserve the magic, I guess. Chris Young, clever guy that he had two squeezy bottles, just using two little jugs. Oh, wow. You definitely get the effect. I'm drinking quickly because I understand it doesn't last. Wow. It's so bizarre, and your brain kind of can't take it. I'm astonished how well that's worked. But rather than being left-right, as I pour, it kind of goes hot, cold, up and down rather than left and right. What a bizarre drink that is. That's a lot of fun. I don't know how practical it is to do for lots of people at once. And obviously it's an annoying bit of work. But you see I've just downed a mug of mulled wine. Well, that was a fascinating little treat. If you are interested, I'd recommend you go watch Chris Young's video where he does it with coffee. And that explains far more behind the logic, the reasoning and all the steps. It's really interesting. I really enjoyed that. That was lots of fun. I hope you did too, and I will see you on the next one.